Avert your ears,
My
Agent
name
B.
is Doof,
Avert
and
your
you'll do
ears.
what I say. My name is Doof, and you'll do what I say. My name.
No! Oh, get back in there! Wait, why is it? What? Perry the platypus! I swear, of all the aquatic mammals I hang with, you are truly the most uncooperative.
His name is Doof, and we'll do what he says. Whoop, whoop. His name is Doof, and we'll do what he says. Whoop, whoop.
It's working! It's working! It's working!
Okay. Well, that's enough of that. Okay, I've got a blank. I want you to write this one down, and then I'm going to talk about it. Become the best person you can be. What I want to draw your attention to is the difference between honor and obey. Okay, the difference between honor and obey. As a child, there is no difference. As a child, his name is Dad, and you'll do what he says, woot, woot. Okay? As a child, her name is Mom, and you'll do what she says. You'll yodel, obey her just because that's what the deal is. A child can't honor his or her mother or father unless that child is actually doing what the mother or father asks. Okay? Well, I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit. But the next thing is that when you're an adult, things are different. When you're living on your own, you're out of the house, you're responsible for your own life, the relationship between mother and father is different. And so I can't spend all day today talking about this honor and obey thing. So I'm just going to try to give you a quick answer, move on past it, because we've got something deeper that we need to talk about here. Okay, so here's the blanks to fill in. This is how to honor your parents as an adult. You don't necessarily have to do what they say all the time, but you need to honor them all the time. That's the command. Honor your father and mother. And so number one, the best way to honor your father and mother is a two-parter. A, be the best person you can be. Because the best person you can be will reflect positively on your parents if you also do number two. Number two, give at least some of the credit to your parents. Now listen, I know a lot of you were raised in dysfunctional homes. I know some of you were raised in insanely dysfunctional homes. I know some of you were raised in evil homes. But that doesn't matter, because you can be an amazingly awesome person. And there is at least something about you today that connects with them in the past. And you can give them credit for that good thing. Even if there's 1,000 piles of evil in your past, and many of us that's not the case, you can still find a needle of something they did well. And so you become the best person you can be, and then you give them at least some of the credit. That's partially honoring them. And then the third one is this: always treat them with respect and dignity. Always treat them with respect and dignity, regardless of the other circumstances. You can disagree with them, but you can still treat them with respect and dignity. Okay, so now I want to dig into this command. We can't just talk about honor and obey. Because actually, if you think about this command, there's some parts of it that really kind of confuse me. Not the least of which is why this command takes place in its position of transition between God and people. That's one thing that I have a question about. But there's another question that's easier for us to ask, and it's easier for us to answer. And so it's this question of just recognizing that at the end of Deuteronomy 5:16, God gives a reason why they should keep this command. Do you see that? It says, honor your father and mother so that it will go well for you, so that you will have a long life, so that everything, it says, so you may live long and it will go well with you in the land the Lord your God is giving you. In Ephesians, we find out that this is the first command God ever gave that had a promise attached to it. Last week we looked at the command that had a long explanation, long reason, long rationale. This week it's the command that has the promise attached to it. And so here's how it goes. Honor your father and mother. If you do, then things will go well for you. And this is exactly how I tell my kids to behave. I'm like, Katie, if you do what I ask you to do, then tonight we will have pizza, and we will watch a movie, and we will have a book. But if you don't do what I'm asking you to do, then you will miss out on the pizza, and you will miss out on the movie, and you will miss out on the book, and I'll put you in bed right now. And I'm not afraid of the crying. I'm just going to do that. In fact, that happened this last week. She's a great kid, and every now and then I have to say things like this. But I think all of us have been in that mode where your parents said, if you do it, it'll go well for you. And if you don't do it, it won't. It won't go so well for you. So here's the deal. God is using the same technique to motivate you and me that we use over our own children. If any of you have kids, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't have kids, you say this to your friends, give me the ball and I'll be your friend. Or if you keep the ball, then I'm not going to be your friend anymore. Same kind of manipulative tactics, but it's manipulative with friendship. With God, God is actually trying to motivate us with something. So I've got a couple questions for you, okay? The first question is this. I've got the questions written on your note sheet, but I don't have the answers written there. The first question is that why is this promise and this command, why is it true? Because it happens, doesn't it? I mean, honestly, God is saying, if you obey your parents, if you honor your parents, then it will go well for you. How do these things relate? Okay, so here's your answer. Write this down. This is bonus points if you want to keep this handy. But they actually know better. It's true. Your parents have been on this planet at least 15, 20 years longer than you have. And there's some things that they actually know better. And especially as a child, your parents actually do know better. And so I was thinking about this. I was trying to identify what are the commands, what are the kinds of commands that parents give to kids. And so I thought up 3 different categories of commands. This is just a freebie. You can write this one down. The first kind of command is what I would call a self-control command, where your parents are trying to tell the kids how to control their lives better. So, for example, one command might be brush your teeth twice a day. Okay, that's a self-control command. That's a command that the parents give to the kids. The kid has to control himself to make that thing happen. But if he does it, his life will turn out better, right? If you do brush your teeth twice a day, every single day, then you're going to have fewer cavities, fewer surgeries, fewer dentist visits, all that kind of stuff. It's going to simply work better for you, right? So that's a self-control command. Other self-control commands might be clean your room or, something along those lines. Those are self-control commands. Then there's the life control commands. I'll give you a couple examples of life control commands. Hang out with good people. That's not something that I'm telling my child he has to control his own life about. It's simply about choices that